fellow people of the world, it is Wednesday, that means it's comic book day, and you would think it would be a good comic book day, being that the first issue of Superman Year 1 from DC Comics' Black Label series has come out. The Black Label series is much more adult, has a bit more of a tendency to go into the darker realms of characters' origins and their storylines, and you'd think this would be great, but unfortunately it was kind of just like, at best. I'll get into that in a second. Let me show you what else I got this week. First up is Guardians of the Galaxy issue number 6, or issue number 156, if you're counting all of the previous incarnations of the Guardians of the Galaxy series. This is the final issue where Hela is trying to resurrect Thanos, and the Guardians of the Galaxy, including Beta Ray Bill, Gladiator, Moondragon, and Phyla-Vell, are trying to stop that. This is an interesting story because a lot of people were theorizing that Hela was going to have something to do with Thanos in the original storyline of the Avengers in the cinematic universe, which never played out. But I still think that would have been a really cool story to see that Thanos was in love with Hela, but that's something else altogether. Miles Morales Spider-Man issue number 7. This is a seemingly very tame issue in the series of Miles Morales Spider-Man, being that not a lot happens in it, at least not until the end, but there is a major revelation with Miles Morales' parents, which I won't say what's happening, but it's something that I wasn't expecting. Uncanny X-Men issue number 20, or issue number 642 if you're counting the previous series. So even though the mutant population is quite small at this point, there's even more mutant deaths. What's worse is we're finding out this big orchestrated plan that was being done by Emma Frost, and it's somewhat unraveling. However, we don't really quite know exactly what it is that she had planned. I will say this also, the mutants that have been gathered together by Cyclops and Wolverine, it's very unique, and I'm happy that the Juggernaut is a part of everything. But one member they should not have recruited was Dark Beast, the Beast from the Age of Apocalypse storyline. He is just all out evil, and he really proves it in this issue as well, but he does get his comeuppance. Batman issue number 73. Batman and his daddy, yes, Thomas Wayne, who is alive, are going across a desert with a coffin being drugged behind them. Batman had just recently got his ass handed to him by Bane. He'd been beaten not only physically, but also mentally. And Thomas is out to heal him, but he's also out to heal someone else. That's a bit of a mystery until the end of this issue, and I won't reveal who it is, but damn, I'm wondering how that's gonna happen. Finally, let's talk about Superman Year 1 from the Black Label series of DC. Now, like I said, this is a different incarnation of Superman in a different universe, so you can't really look at everything in the past Superman universes as to being canon. There are a lot of similarities with this Clark Kent in comparison to previous Clark Kents, but this Kal-El is still very much uniquely his own. I am going to give away some minor spoilers for this issue, so if you haven't read it yet, I'm just warning you now in advance. First, there are only two major women that are explored in this first issue, one of which happens to be Lana Lang, and the other happens to be Martha Kent. And I hate saying this because I do like Frank Miller's writing, but I don't feel as though he explored these two characters properly. Both seem very innocent and almost naive as to what's happening around them. Both the characters seem very weak, not that they haven't been portrayed as being weak in the past as well, but I just feel as though in this setting they should be a bit stronger. There's also a tonal shift in the beginning of this book to certain instances where it goes very adult. For instance, Lana is almost raped at a certain point, and up to this point, these bullies almost felt like they were just standard bullies where they don't even curse. The worst thing they really say is something like pansy, but then suddenly she's about to be raped, and whoa, it really hit the fan at that point. I get the whole shock moment, I really do, but immediately afterwards, it feels as though it's just completely ignored. Something like that is very traumatizing for a person. John Romita Jr. is the artist for this, and it's not bad, but I don't think he knows how to draw teenagers very well. It feels as though the same character who's growing up hasn't really changed in height and stature, and his face still looks very similar, and I kind of was confused by that. The ending I wasn't expecting either. Clark ends up joining the Navy so he can explore the world. I know some people are putting that down, but I personally think that's kind of cool that he's doing that. I do understand that some people online are upset that he's not going to college, but instead he's joining the military services instead. But still, I think that's an interesting switch for his character, and it's something that, again, I wasn't thinking was going to happen. Anyways, I won't go into more detail about this. Even though I did think that this story was somewhat like, at the best, I will probably read the second two parts that come out later on, just because I want to see how it plays out. But that's my comic load for this week. What did you guys read? Leave comments down below and let me know. With that, thank you guys for watching me in this video. Be sure to check out my Patreon site, check out my social media sites, my websites, and everything else out there. Peace, love, and I'll see you guys later.
I'm in love with a hero.
I may be reading too much into this, but there was a little hint in this book that Clark Kent's best friend, Pete Ross, may be gay. It's something that wasn't explored and nothing else went out from it, but still, it was something that I got this vibe from reading.